The first step in our automated process starts with scripting. As we've covered in previous sections, our content ideation process begins with finding content ideas and articles primarily through Feedly. After identifying a good video topic, we head to Trello to start the production process. New videos in scripting. This begins in our Trello column that we've labeled Videos in Scripting. We'll create a new card on the list with our desired video title that we've workshopped using headline analyzer tools. Then we'll open up the card and paste any relevant articles, as well as the target keyword for the video script, which we've gotten from TubeBuddy. Immediately after doing this, Zapier kicks in and starts documenting production. We've titled our first Zap, New Script Enters Production. It triggers when a new card is added to our Videos and Scripting column in Trello. By specifying this column, it prevents any actions being triggered as the cards are moved into new columns throughout production. Upon the card being created and added to scripting, Zapier will collect the current date using its native date and time formatting tool. Then, it pastes this information into Google Sheets for us. At this point, it creates a new row in Google Sheets that documents the date the video was put into scripting and the title of that video. This is a very important step because it plants the seeds of information that we'll use for dozens of automations down the line. It's also helpful to have the date of each new video listed here so we can go back and analyze how long a given video takes from start to finish. Adding labels to cards. We take an extra step here because we operate multiple channels on a single Trello board. After the card is created, we add a label to the card that identifies which channel the video is being produced for. This tells our writers and editors which branding and formatting approaches they should be using for a given video, and where the card should be moved into Trello after the script is complete. This is a pretty simple process in Zapier. It detects when one of our specific labels is added to a card. When we add the Facts First label to a card, it looks up the video title in Google Sheets. Then, it fills in a box to let us know which channel the video is being produced for. While the labels are mostly a tool we use for our freelance team, it's also helpful to have the videos labeled in Google Sheets so we can filter by channel and keep a tab on how many videos are in production across each of our channels. Writers create scripts. At this point, all of our work is done. Our writers routinely check Trello for new script topics, and they can pick up projects as they are available. We just tell them to attach themselves to a script that they are interested in writing. This signifies that someone is actively working on the script, so we don't have multiple writers working on the same project. It's first come, first served for scripting, which keeps things moving pretty efficiently. After writing the script using our guidelines, they'll export the Word document and attach it to the Trello card. Trello cards can hold attachments that are under 10 megabytes, so it's plenty of room to attach a script. Once the scripts are attached to the card, the writer will drag that card over to the Scripts in QC section, and their job is done. Once the card moves to that QC list, Zapier kicks in again. Zapier will detect any time a card moves from the scripting list to the QC list. When this happens, it documents the date and the time. Then, using the card title, it searches for the video in our spreadsheet. Last, it updates that video entry on the spreadsheet to add the writer and the date the script was submitted. The writer stays attached as a member on the card throughout production so that we're able to document this information. It's how we identify which of our writers completed which scripts so that we can pay them for their work on a weekly basis. It's also helpful if we notice something incorrect in a script or a really great script, then we can quickly identify the writer who created it. The date they submitted is also important because we pay writers on a weekly basis, and we use the date that they drag the card over to QC as the date that the writer can be paid for it. Scripts in QC. The quality check step is an important step in making sure our writers are sticking to our writing guidelines, adhering to our plagiarism rules, and so on. For this, we've assigned one of our strongest writers to the role of QC. When scripts are available in the QC list, our designated quality check person will copy and paste the script content to Grammarly and run it through their plagiarism checker. We specifically check for any sources that we provided in the Trello card to ensure that the content is entirely dissimilar from the original article sources. Additionally, the QC will review the correctness function, which catches grammatical errors. These can be clicked through and corrected pretty quickly and should catch any small errors before going to VO. If anything is largely problematic, the script is sent back to the writer for corrections. If edits are made, the edited script is downloaded and re-uploaded to the card, and the old script attachment is deleted. Otherwise, the script can continue moving through production. At this point, our QC will drag the card into the next appropriate column, which would be voiceover. We have separated voiceover columns for different channels, and this is for a few reasons. First, we use different voiceover artists for different channels. Separating the columns makes it easy to identify which projects are available for which of the VO artists. Second, and perhaps more importantly, is that it makes it much easier to keep our files organized behind the scenes. After being dragged into the VO stage, we have a huge chain of Dropbox automations that get triggered, And using separate columns keeps those files cleanly separated in Dropbox. We'll talk about those in the next section.